Gives to Dorsett, and Dorsett will
As the Dallas Cowboys are in Philadelphia, all the nasty words have been spoken. All the hateful phrases have been written. As you look at the NFC Eastern Division standings, Philadelphia on top, Dallas a game back. It was just like that a year ago, at least as far as the top two were concerned. Should be a dandy this afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm Pat Summerall. This, of course, is John Madden. They say big games, and this is a dandy, are won on defense. If you'd say that, John, you'd have to think it's advantage Philadelphia.
I agree with that in part. You know, and the Eagles have a great defense. They probably have the better defense, but there's many more elements than that. And one of the things is that the Dallas Cowboy defense is very opportunistic. And as Tom Landry says, we get some, they get some. Sometimes we get more than they do.
They talk about maybe 80 passes being thrown in this contest. You throw against Dallas on first down, you throw against Philadelphia on first down. That may not be the entire answer, however.
I don't think so. I think we'll see a lot of passes. There'll be a lot of talk about the young defense. There'll be a lot of talk about the quarterbacks and receivers. But I can see that this game could very well boil down to the two running backs, Wilbert Montgomery and Tony Dorsett. I believe that the running back that gains the most yards, that team will win. But in any case, there's a lot of excitement in this stadium, and as Drew Pearson said last week, this is the thrilla and filla, and I can't wait to watch it.
And we start off, John, by the ball falling off a tee as Tony Franklin will kick off for Philadelphia. Back deep for Dallas, number 23, the dangerous James Jones. Newsom and Fellows back there with him. Franklin again has the ball fall off a tee. Tony, of course, with one shoe on and one shoe off. And was he ever kicking some rockets in pregame warm-up? From 60 yards out he was hitting with only one step. Now he's 6.5 yards away. He'll come off the instep of Tony Franklin to start this game. Deep kickoff by Franklin. It is Timmy Newsom who starts from the goal line. He's got a hole. Newsom out to about the 26. He almost broke it. Dallas will take over, and we'll take a look at that Dallas offensive unit right now. The offensive backs and receivers, Danny White, the red-hot Tony Dorsett, Ron Springs, Tony Hill, and Drew Pearson wide. The offensive line, B.J. Dupree, Donovan, Scott, Rafferty permanently now at center, Kurt Peterson at guard, Jim Cooper the other tackle. We'll look at the Eagle defense after this first play, and Danny White brings him out on first down. Dorsett and Springs the setbacks, and now they move into that tandem. It'll be Dorsett. He's had some long afternoons recently here. That Eagle defense led by Frank Lemaster takes him down right at the line of scrimmage.
That Eagle defense is waiting for Tony Dorsett, isn't it?
Here's the front three. They play the 3-4. Harrison, Johnson is the nose guard, the middle guard. The linebackers, Wilkes, Al Chesley in place of Bill Berge, Lemaster, and Robinson. And the secondary, and it's good. They play mostly zone. Young, Edwards, Logan, and Bernard Wilson. Drew Pearson wide to the right, Tony Hill to the left. Second down, 10. In motion was Doug Cosbie. Danny White looks to Cosbie. Pass, I believe, was deflected.
Like Danny White wasn't sure whether he wanted to throw it to Cosbie inside or Drew Pearson on the sideline, and looks like he got caught right in between when he threw that one.
So it'll be third down at the 25. Dorsett lost a yard on that first carry. You look at John Makovic along with Tom Landry. As usual, very dapper. In the cowboy blue.
He always looks good, doesn't he?
He really does.
He really. No wear and tear on Tom Landry.
There is Danny White out of the shotgun with Butch Johnson also in the game. Dorsett stays in the block. White down the middle, high, intended for Jay Saldi. And White will have to do the rest of his act. That would be punting. Listen to the crowd.
They are wild and ready for this one, Pat. Look at them. They love their Eagles. They love their Eagle defense. They have organized cheers like the colleges.
They love their Eagles and they hate these Cowboys. Wally Henry back deep for Philadelphia. and heads upfield. Spun around. Knocked down by Bob Brunig first. Now here is the Philadelphia offense. First of all, the wide receivers and the backs. Jaworski, Montgomery, Hubert Oliver's the fullback, Harold Carmichael wide on one side, and Charlie Smith the other. Krepfle, the tight end. It's a good offensive line. Walters, Payroll, Guy Morris, the center, Ron Baker, and Jerry Sizemore. 42-yard punt by Danny White. We'll check the Dallas defense as soon as Jaworski has one chance.
I bet this first chance is a pass. I bet they come out passing.
Montgomery is the lone setback. Two tight ends on the right side. A new formation. Long count by Jaworski. You're right. Carmichael. They go right to work on Dennis Thurman, and that's the matchup that Tom Landry fears most.
That's what he was telling us last night. You know, before they were talking about the speed. He said now it's the height. He's worried about Carmichael on Dennis Thurman.
Dallas plays, of course, the 4-3. Four down linemen: Ed Jones, Dutton, Randy White, and Harvey Martin. Three linebackers: Heckman, Brunig, and D.D. Lewis. And the secondary. Two free agents in there. Walls is one of them. The other is down. Charlie Waters and Dennis Thurman, the other two. 8-yard pickup. Call it 7 yards. Make it 2nd and 3. First down, Philadelphia in Dallas territory. It's Oliver, the fullback. Bob Brunig made the tackle.
This is very interesting. You know, we look at this Dallas defense and everyone is talking about that. They're 15th against the rush. They're 26th against the pass, and they're 26th in total defense. Now, that's bad. But I'll tell you, there's another statistic that I think is even more important: the ratio of turnovers. Look at this. In takeaway, giveaway, they're plus 15, the best in the NFL.
And that's how their record has remained as good as it is. What is the game behind the Eagles? First down. Two tight ends. Jaworski will throw on first, and does. Intended Carmichael. He got a hand on it, then he was hit by Walls and couldn't recover in time to catch the football.
You know, one thing, Harold Carmichael is 6'8", but he doesn't like these passes up in the air. See, that's too tall for Harold, or a little too far out in front of him. No receiver likes to get in that position. You see where he gets stretched out and his ribs are exposed? They hate that. And Harold Carmichael was telling me the other day, he said, that seems to happen to me more than anyone else just because I'm 6'8".
That's an awfully big target. That's the book on Jaworski in 81. Almost the same as Danny White. Jaworski on 2nd and 10 from the Dallas 48. Again, it's a long count. Dallas faking blitz, and now they do. Outside Krepfle, he has it. That's Michael Downs on the tackle. Krepfle got about 6. It'll be 3rd down for the Eagles.
I'll tell you, Jaworski did a good job on that of getting rid of the ball. Watch him here. He'll see the blitz coming now. He knows that he doesn't have much time. It's just 1-2, boom. He hits Krepfle out there right on the run. That was a safety blitz, a strong safety. We saw Charlie Waters coming up the inside.
And the Eagles picked it up very well. Now Dallas comes in with the extra defensive backs. And the Eagles operate with that double tight end offense and the one lone setback. 3rd and 3. Montgomery's out. And so the fullback stays in. Hubert Oliver to block for Jaworski. Let's see if he does. Oliver swings to the outside, and he is cut down. A loss of a couple. D.D. Lewis made the tackle. And Max Runiger will come on for the Eagles to punt it.
That was great defense by Dallas. What the Eagles were trying to do is show them a pass formation against their pass defense and then run the ball to the fullback. Dallas didn't buy it at all. The line waited there. The linebackers were right up in the hole.
James Jones, number 23, goes back with Ron Fellows for Dallas. Runiger standing at about his 42-yard line. Very little wind. Temperature about 60 degrees. An ideal day. No sunshine. Well, that won't be any problem. Runiger hangs it high. Very high. Steve Wilson. And Dallas will take over their second possession of the day after that 30-yard punt by Runiger. But he wasn't trying to kick it that far, just high. Pat Summerall with John Madden. at the Vet in Philadelphia. 0-0 between the Cowboys and the Eagles. Both sort of probed on their first offensive formation setups. Here is Ron Springs for a couple, not much more. Springs straight ahead. Gary Robinson made the tackle. Dick Vermeil over on the sideline. No team is better prepared, I guarantee you that. Those of you who watched Atlanta get back on track, beating New Orleans 41-10, welcome to the Vet in Philadelphia, where it's 0-0 between the Cowboys and the Eagles. Pat Summerall with John Madden with 10:50 left in the first quarter. No score. Double tight end setup now for Dallas. Dupree on the right, Cosbie on the left. A botched play. White has nowhere to go, and that's the smartest move he could make. Ken Clark.
I'll tell you, this crowd does something to you, and it looks like Dallas is feeling that a little, because that really shouldn't happen. This is the 9th game of the regular season, and both backs went to the left side, and Danny White turned and came out to the right side. And as you say, he did the right thing. He went down. The other thing he could have done is followed his 2 running backs to the left side.
A loss of 6 yards on that play as the mix-up cost Dallas. And White goes back in the shotgun. Tony Hill. Butch Johnson was the man in motion. Tony Hill will have a Dallas first down on a strike from Danny White.
I'll tell you, Danny White had a bad play the play before, but it didn't take him much time as we watch Tony Hill working here on Richard Blackmore, the corner. See, it's a man-to-man thing. He'll just get some depth. He moves to the outside, and White really made a great throw on that one.
Blackmore is the 5th defensive back that the Eagles come in with in their nickel setup. First down Dallas after that 21-yard pass completion from White to Tony Hill. This time Drew Pearson comes out to the right. Hill goes left. Here's Dorsett coming in motion and setting up on the right side now. And now going back in the other direction. And White will drop and throw on first. And fires. Tony Hill again with some room to run. Another Dallas first down at the 45. Herman Edwards made the stop.
We just saw Tom Landry call a play. You know, he stopped the signaling, and he calls them himself now as we watch Tony Hill again. It's just a hook pattern. See, Philadelphia is mostly a zone team, and that wasn't a man-to-man, and he hooked in front of the corner and between the linebackers.
Doug Cosbie will now be the first down tight end for Dallas. He's lined up tight right. So far, Dorsett's been held in check. But White's got the hot arm right now. Reverse to Cosbie. And Doug gets a couple. The Eagles played that well. Jerry Robinson and Frank LeMaster. 2 of the Eagle linebackers stopped him.
Jerry Robinson had seen that reverse before, hadn't he? What you try and do, Jerry Robinson was a right linebacker, as we see him there, number 56, and you try and get them to pursue to the left side so you can get out around them. The play went to the right. Jerry Robinson didn't buy it. He just waited right there for the reverse.
Pickup of 2 make it 2nd and 8 for Dallas with 8:45 left first quarter, and Dallas on the move. Line of scrimmage their own 47. Johnson and Hill both lined up together out wide to the right, and now Hill swings back in motion. And White can't get away from the Eagle rush. It's Ken Clark. Came right up the middle. They only rushed 3 men, but they got the good pressure.
That's right. They start Charlie Johnson at the nose tackle, but Ken Clark comes in. Now watch him. He's right over the center. He starts to the left, and then he comes back to the right up the middle. Danny White didn't have a chance, but Ken Clark is the pass rushing nose tackle, and Charlie Johnson is the run nose tackle.
A loss of 10 on that sack by Clark. The Cowboys had enough blockers, but somehow they didn't see him as he got away from Rafferty.
I think the play pass, excuse me, Pat, I think the play pass, I think Dorsett on the play pass action got in the way of the pass protection.
White not satisfied with the formation or the personnel and goes over to discuss it with Tom Landry as the Cowboys take their first time out of the first half. Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia is rocking. The chant you hear is the sellout crowd spelling out Eagles. It's 3rd down and 18 for Dallas at their own 37. 3 wide receivers, Butch Johnson. Eagles blitz. Pearson slipped down. He was the intended receiver, but he slipped on the artificial turf. Blackmore the defender, and White will have to punt.
It looks like on that 5 defensive backs that they're working on Richard Blackmore. This is one of the few times that the Eagles will play man-to-man. And we see Drew Pearson there. He was coming down, and he just started to make his cut, and he fell down. A lot of interceptions come on those types of plays.
So Danny White back in punt formation. Wally Henry deep for the Eagles. Henry standing back at about his own 22-yard line. Ball doesn't turn over, but hangs up there, and Henry goes back to the 20. Henry gets away from one, is cut down by Steve Wright. Let's check some of the other scores around the league. That's the final penalty marker down here in Philadelphia. You saw the Jets beat the Giants. Atlanta over New Orleans. San Francisco continues to roll. They beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh 17-14. We'll check the penalty. 43-yard punt by White. Excuse me, John. Usually on a punting situation or a kickoff situation, of course, it's against the receiving team, in this case the Eagles, for some kind of an illegal block in the back.
That's probably one of those illegal blocks above the waist.
Number 29 on the receiving team during the kick. First down.
In this case, it's holding. The officials for today, Jerry Seaman is the referee, and the rest of his staff. First time we've heard from him, with 7:40 left in the first quarter and no score in Philadelphia. Harvey Martin. Don't have to say too much to get him ready to play against the Eagles, do you?
He's just giving that mouthpiece a rest before he puts it back in. There it goes. Now he's ready to go.
First down, Philadelphia at their own 10. Dallas in the flex. On the right side. Montgomery stopped right at the line of scrimmage and hit down hard by John Dutton. Right now for an NFL update, let's go to Brent Musburger in New York.
Pat Billy Sims has returned for the Detroit Lions, but it's the other running back, Wendell Tyler, who has exploded for the Los Angeles Rams. 69 yards. The Rams now lead the Lions by 7. Back to you in Veterans Stadium.
And so far, no score in Veterans Stadium. It's 0-0 between the Eagles and the Cowboys. Big John Dutton. They say he is progressing and learning to play the flex.
And playing a lot better along with Too Tall Jones.
Second down, 7 on the 13. Montgomery again with some room. He almost broke that one. Randy White, the first man to hit him with help from Bob Brunig and Mike Eggman.
That Randy White is really something. He's one of the most active defensive linemen that we'll ever see. You know, he's kind of like a half lineman and half linebacker. Half man and half monster also, isn't he? Look at the arms on that guy. Whoo, I love it. Look, little sweat there, huh? Let's go get him.
Make you want to be back on the sideline, Jack?
I feel that way. Ooh.
Oh, this crowd is electric. 3 wide receivers for Philadelphia. Rodney Parker in the game. Timeout, Philadelphia. Jaworski didn't have the alignment that he wanted, and so now both the Cowboys and the Eagles have burned a timeout. They both have 2 left. Dick Vermeil on the left. Dallas nothing, Philadelphia nothing. First quarter. 6:17 left to play in that first quarter. Third down, Philadelphia. They need 6 for a first. At their own 14. Jaworski now operates out of the shotgun. Montgomery and Campfield flank him on either side. Jaworski going deep. Pass is caught out of bounds by Rodney Parker. Back there with him was Steve Wilson. And the Eagles will have to punt.
You know, it was interesting, the shotgun there. Dick Vermeil was telling us yesterday that they put in the shotgun for the Dallas pass rush. Watch out, right at the end, Rodney Parker just can't stay inside. It was really a perfect pass, but just a little to the outside. He tried, but he couldn't stand. It was good pass coverage by Steve Wilson also.
Number 4 is Max Runniger, standing with 1 foot in the end zone. James Jones back close to midfield for Dallas. If the Cowboys try to put the rush on Runniger. Taking a lot of time. Runniger hangs it high. Jones retreats to the 40, to the 39, slips, and gets underway and is taken down by John Shira, number 21. Let's check some other scores. 47-yard punt by Runniger. Atlanta 41-10 over New Orleans. The Buccaneers, after getting through playing Super Bowl teams, beat Chicago 20-10. San Francisco with Super Bowl ideas, 17-14 over Pittsburgh. Miami 27, Baltimore 10. That's the final. And Buffalo, oh, they play tough defense, don't they? 22-13. Cincinnati 34, Houston 21. That's also a final. The Jets beat the Giants 26-7. First down, Dallas at their own 45. 2 tight ends on this first down. Tony Dorsett, 5 quick ones. More scores, and these are not finals. Third quarter, Seattle over Green Bay 24-21. Theotis Browns helped them. Washington 14, St. Louis nothing first quarter. And in Los Angeles, you saw that touchdown run a minute ago by Wendell Tyler. The Rams over Detroit 7-0 first quarter. The eyes of a hawk, they say. That's his nickname, Tony Dorsett. White will throw, 2nd and 5. Cosbie to the Eagle 36-yard line. Dallas first down. Wrestled to the ground by Randy Logan.
Well, I tell you, he zipped that one in. This is a great throw here because we're going to see Al Chesley is right by the ball. You see 59 there, Chesley? Now watch him. He starts inside, just misses that ball, but that's one thing about Cosbie. 6'6", is a big target, and a quarterback can always find him in there.
Plus, he has very good hands.
Right, and he didn't have much room in there.
A double tight end set up as here is Dorsett. Tony D down to about the 30. Another 5. LeMaster tripped him up. Partial scores from elsewhere. Kansas City 7, San Diego 7. That's a big one. And Oakland and New England tied at 3 apiece first quarter.
They're just kind of getting started out there.
Dallas has the football, 2nd down and 4 just outside the Eagle 30 as Raphael Septien loosens up on the sideline. Springs and Dorsett behind White on 2nd down. Springs. Ron Springs got away from one Eagle tackler and lunged for about 3.5 yards. Robinson made the tackle.
Like Frank LeMaster, number 55, penetrated in there, and he had Springs for a second. Then Springs just kept his feet going. And, you know, that's what a running back has to do, is keep your feet going, keep gaining ground.
A couple of years ago when Springs was a rookie here in Philadelphia and Dorsett got hurt, he had perhaps the best game he ever had. That was when he was a tailback. Now he's a fullback.
Say that he really worked hard. You know, they talk about Dorsett, how hard he worked in the offseason, but Ron Springs did also. A year ago, Landry gave him a job. This year, he made him work for it, and he worked all year for it.
Cowboys have 3 tight ends in the game. That's one of them. Saldi in motion. Dorsett will get the first down, and that's about it. Even then, they may have to measure. Frank LeMaster on the bottom of the pile.
There's a lot of green jerseys. I'll tell you, that's one thing about this Philadelphia defense. They probably pursue and swarm and gang tackle. Look at all those guys out there. There's about 6 or 7 on that pile. They all swarm that football.
Springs goes out of the game right now. Dupree is in. Pearson goes out wide to the left. Jay Saldi's in the game. And Hill is lined up as the fullback. I don't like that'll last. For Tony Hill, picked off. Bernard Wilson on the interception comes out of the end zone with it. Pass was intended for Hill.
Listen to this crowd and the excitement here. You know what happened on that play? As we'll see it again, he was going to fake a screen to the left. Watch, see the fake there? Now he pumped there. Now he tries to go deep, but Bernard Wilson didn't go for it at all. He was waiting right there. He stayed in his safety location, and he was there waiting for the interception.
So the Eagles have possession. Dallas comes away empty. It'll be 1st and 10 for Philadelphia at their own 24-yard line when we come back. Madden, Pat Summerall at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. The matchup of the year, perhaps, between the Eagles and the Cowboys, ranking 1 and 2 in the NFC East. It's 0-0. Jaworski will throw again on 1st down. Goes deep for his tight end. Crepkley back there with him is Charlie Waters on coverage. Waters with him all the way.
We were expecting that they would be testing Everson Walls deep, and they're testing Charlie Waters deep. They had both wide receivers over here on the left side, and they go to their tight end deep on the right side, man-to-man on Charlie Waters, but there is a flag on the play.
Dick Vermeil had said for the most part, it's against Dallas, that his Eagles would throw on 1st down and throw a lot. And they have certainly done that.
Well, that's the thing that everyone has tried to do against Dallas, because we know they use that flex defense. Therefore, they only have 2 defensive linemen up on the line in rushing position.
Face mask, number 54, defense, 1st down.
I'm sure that that mask just ended up in his hand somehow.
Randy White and Petey Perreault having a battle. Green Bay has gone ahead of Seattle now, 28-24. This is Montgomery. And he barrels out to about the 35 for the Eagles. Michael Downs, the safety man, had to make the stop.
You know, that's really not a bad plan against the Cowboy defense, is to throw on running downs and run on throwing downs. You know, like they come out 1st down, throw the ball, it's incomplete, come back and run on 2nd down.
Touchdown pass from Eric Hipple to David Hill as tight end. And the Lions have tied the Rams 7 apiece. Hubert Oliver, the ball carrier for a couple. Randy White on the bottom of the pile.
Hubert Oliver is an interesting player. He's a 10th round draft choice. His nickname is Rockman. I like that for a fullback, Rockman, because of the way he runs. But this is the first Philadelphia-Dallas game that he's ever been in. And I was watching him in the pregame introductions. They kind of had to push him out there like, you've never been there before, we'll give you a little help.
It'll be 3rd down and 2 for the Eagles with just over 1 minute left to play in the 1st quarter. And we have no score. Jaworski might throw it. Jaworski chased and sacked by John Dutton. Dutton not fooled at all. And Big John, as we said before, playing better and better.
That's the one that we saw him practicing yesterday, the short yardage. See, they try and fake a run, you know, and make them think it's short yardage and then come back and pass, but they pulled the guard and no one blocked John Dutton, and he was right in Jaworski's face. I'll tell you, that's a load to have in your face. Big John Dutton, 6'7", 263 pounds. I'll tell you, that'll put a little bruise on you.
Runniger deep for the Eagles to kick. Fine punt, chases James Jones all the way back inside his own 25. And Jones gets outside the 30 to about the 32. Good coverage by the Philadelphia Eagles. And Dallas will take over. San Francisco beat Pittsburgh 17-14. Atlanta over New Orleans 41-10. The NFC's Western Division at the moment, San Francisco now 7-2, Atlanta 5-4 after their victory. And those two will match next week here on CBS. The Falcons in San Francisco.
You know, the Falcons have lost 4 games, but they're still one of the best teams in the NFL, and the 49ers are for real.
It made believers out of a lot of people, including us. Fred Dean, remember? Oh. White hands back to Dorsett, and he whirls for about 4 outside the 40. Carl Hairston, who's always around, made a stop on Dorsett.
I think what the Cowboys would like to do is they would like to run on this 3-man line thing and try and get that 2nd and 5, those types of situations that they're in right now.
Right now they have it 2nd and 6 as they'll change ends of the field. That's the end of the first quarter in Philadelphia. It tackles John Dutton and Randy White. And then Ernie would put a hurting on you.
Ernie would put a hurting on you. And he was just telling John Dutton, if they pull that guard like that, just run right in and get the quarterback. Dutton saying, I did it. I said, good.
2nd and 6, Dallas. Randy White up under the center here. Drew Pearson swings in motion. White will put it up. Good protection outside, intended for Ron Springs and overthrown. Randy Logan was with him. Springs, Dallas leading pass catcher. That contest now in the second quarter at 3 apiece between the Patriots and the Raiders. Herbert Scott, you don't hear much about him, but he sure can play.
When you do hear about him is any time that they run anything to the left on a sweep or a swing, he's always getting that big block outside.
It'll be 3rd and 6. You saw Ron Springs leaving, and you see now Dallas going into the shotgun. Rafferty to center. He will not look back, but he pops it true. Right for Hill. Caught. Tony Hill breaking loose. Down to about the 34-yard line. First down, Dallas. Herman Edwards knocked his shoe off.
Oh, and is Herman Edwards frustrated on that one because he really had pretty good coverage. We'll see it here. Now, again, on most 3rd down plays, the Eagles will play a man-to-man pass defense. Now, watch Edwards here. He just reached in with his opposite hand, his far hand, trying to reach across. He missed the ball, and, of course, Tony Hill caught it.
Well, there's a lesson there to tell a young receiver or any receiver to watch that ball all the way in. Don't be distracted by those hands and arms flying across in front of it.
And Hill wasn't distracted at all.
First down, Dallas, 2 tight ends. Salby in the game to the left side now. Here's Dorsett looking for room. Not finding much. He did get 2 or 3. Tripped up as he swung over to the right side, hit by Reggie Wilkes. Charlie Johnson helped him out.
Al Chesley, the inside linebacker, number 59 of the Eagles, who took Bill Bergey's place, played with Dorsett at the University of Pittsburgh. And he was saying the thing that always impressed him about Dorsett was that he has not only 1 gear, but 2 and then a 3rd gear. And I think on that last run, we just saw a 2nd gear.
The last 7 games against Philadelphia for Tony Dorsett have not been up to his standards. That's what he's done, averaging less than 4 yards a carry. He'll try again. That'll help his average. Dorsett fires down for a first down about the 20.
I'll tell you, I love that. He really did fire in there. Watch this blocking on the right side by Kurt Peterson and Jim Cooper. You see, we get a lead block by Springs on the nose tackle. We have the wing coming across. They double inside, double outside, and Dorsett just explodes right through the hole.
Got a first down just outside the Eagle 20. No score. 12:49 left to play in the first half. Dorsett looking very determined and running in the same fashion. Dorsett again. To about the 16. Robinson on the bottom of the pile.
Well, the Cowboys are doing something right now that I haven't seen them do in a long time. I don't know if I've ever seen them do, just taking the ball and just running it right out of defense. And really, against this Eagle defense, a 3-man line, the way they pursue, that's the way to run on it, the way they did these last 2 plays.
Cowboys for a long time have had that reputation of not being a team that would fire out, but finesse you more than anything else. Robert Newhouse is now in the backfield. Dallas gets the carry, and the house gets down to about the 10. Very near a Dallas first down. Harrison made the tackle.
You know, they are working the insides. They started out and they tried to work the outsides. And again, the thing that this Eagle defense does is pursue, as we look at Robert Newhouse here. But now what the Cowboys are doing is running right at him and working the inside against the nose tackle and the 2 inside linebackers.
Randy White. His technique may not be the best, John, but he sure gets the job done.
I'll tell you, I like him a lot better when he's up on that guard, not in the flex position.
About a half-foot short. Charlie Johnson out of the game and injured for Philadelphia. Not seriously, it doesn't seem. Michael Downs getting some work done on his left forearm. A rookie free agent safety man from Rice.
Tom Landry was telling us last night that he's so quiet, he never says anything. He says you really don't know how he feels.
3rd and inches. Dorsett and Springs, the 2 runners. White trying to pull him offside. Salvi. Springs has the first down at about the 7. Salvi on that outside trap.
On that short yardage, they always do that, and you would think that the people would key. Now watch here, we'll see Saldi come in motion from the outside right there, see, and he leads on Lemaster, and then Springs is able to get the ball inside for the first down.
1st and goal, Dallas at the 7. No score as yet, but the Cowboys at the door. The Eagles 1 game ahead of them in the standings in the NFC East. Johnson back in the game now. He came out briefly. Butch Johnson for Dallas comes left. And Dorsett and Springs are the runners. Here's Dorsett. Cut down behind the line of scrimmage by Johnson. He lost a couple.
Did you see that? Charlie Johnson and Carl Hairston, the excitement, and then those guys are like 2 brothers. They're always together. I saw them out here in the field where they really work well together. When one does something, the other one's right there to help him out.
There's Charlie. That job of middle guard sometimes is so thankless, but you can't get frustrated.
You know, I was talking to Carl Peterson before the game, and he told me that the job he's done, they've torn up his contract 3 times.
2nd down, back at the 10. White will throw. Looking for Pearson. Throws behind him. Al Chesley may have deflected it.
It must have been a deflection, because he really had a shot in here to the end zone. No, it wasn't a deflection. It was just a bad throw. He just threw it behind Drew Pearson.
So it will be 3rd down and goal from the 10. The Eagles put in their pass rush unit now, which includes Claude Humphrey and Greg Brown, who's quite a story.
Number 98. He's a true 98.
That's up there. Listen to the crowd as White tries to call signals and drops. Look out. Here comes Humphrey. Fumble. Cowboys do manage to get it back on a great effort by Pat Donovan, who made the recovery.
I'll tell you, that was a great play by Pat Donovan, because he saved them a field goal. Of course, they won't have a chance at the touchdown, but he did save them a field goal. Now watch, it's a play pass here. There's nothing open to the right. There comes Hairston for the left. He just strips the ball out with his right hand. And Pat Donovan makes a great play to save what could be a field goal.
Donovan, who was a defensive end in college, an All-American at that position, one of many that the Cowboys have changed from defense to offense, and Raphael Septien will kick with Charlie Waters holding. 32 yards out. Got it. And Dallas puts the lights on the scoreboard first. 32-yard field goal by Raphael Septien. The Cowboys lead the Eagles 3-0. 3-0 Dallas. 32-yard field goal by Raphael Septien, who will kick off right now. Wally Henry Standing back at the goal line for the Eagles. Etienne hits it deep. Good high kickoff. Henry at the 1. Henry whirls out to the 25 as a penalty marker goes down again. Anthony Dickerson made the stop.
You know, it's getting so that on every return, whether it be kickoff or punt, it seems like there's always a flag on the play. I'll bet you that 75% of the returns today have some type of penalty on them.
Against the Eagles this time.
I bet that's that one behind the back, though, isn't it?
It's got to be. Jerry Seaman, the referee, will tell us in just a second as soon as he gets through walking it off against Philadelphia. Looks like they'll go with their 2 tight end offense.
Illegal block above the waist in the back. Number 57 on the return. First down.
Yeah, that's a good one. A lot of play this year on that one. You know, someday they're going to have electronic devices where the players will have on it. When some guy gets blocked behind the back, above the waist, there's going to be sounds and lights go up. Boom, 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 you know, so everyone can see it. We never see those things.
That's a good sound, John. Carmichael out wide to the right. Smith out to the left. Montgomery, the 1 runner. Jaworski looking for Carmichael, had him in the hands. Everson Walls, the defender, but Carmichael was open.
He was open, and that was a good throw by Jaworski. I tell you, it's tough to throw in this position. Now watch Carmichael on Walls. It's man-to-man. He's no ball hit him right in the hands. Harold knows that he has to catch those times. You know,
Everson Walls is the NFL's leading pass interceptor. He has 8. Free agent rookie who led the nation last year when he was at Grambling in interceptions with 11. 2nd and 10 Philadelphia. All at their own 11-yard line. 2 tight ends set up again. Jaworski will throw again. He has Carmichael this time for the first down in front of Everson Walls.
I bet that's one of those things where Carmichael went back and said, look, I'm sorry, it won't happen again. Just give me another chance on him. He says, okay, we'll give you a chance to run a hook. You just run up the field about 12 yards, work right back, and I'll hit you in front of Walls. One thing Walls did, though, he got, you know, he had to cover that hook, but as soon as Carmichael caught the ball, he took him down.
Walls is 6'1". Carmichael is 6'8". He goes over on the other side with Carmichael. Here's Montgomery with some room. Wilbur bangs out, fumbles, got it back. First down. Stopped by Downs.
You know, here's an example of something that I really believe is you can really set up the run by passing the ball rather than running to set up the pass. Now watch this blocking in front of Montgomery. He can probably cut back against the grain and get his shoulder square and run over some people. Did you see the lick that he put on Mike Downs?
Wilbert was saying they list me as weighing 195 pounds, but I don't weigh that much. That 195 must be with all of my equipment on. Montgomery looking up straight ahead. Oliver down in front of him. First down, Philadelphia. Montgomery will run again. Nothing doing this time. Ed Jones stacks up everything. Let's check while we have a chance as they unpile some other scores. Washington 14-0 over the Cardinals, second quarter. Detroit now 10-7 over Los Angeles, second quarter. Lions playing much better. Kansas City and San Diego tied at 7. New England and Oakland still tied at 3. That was a 51-yard field goal for Oakland.
Tall handled that left side that time. Look at the size of that guy and the shoulders on him. He's tough to run against, just size alone, if he just hung in that hole a while.
It'll be second down 10 for the Eagles. Jaworski back to throw. The protection holds up for a while. This is Spagnuolo. Spagnuolo still on his feet, breaking tackles inside the Dallas 40. Michael Downs finally got him down. Big John Spagnuolo.
This crowd loves it. This is Spagnuolo's first game back. He's had a pulled hamstring, and Dick Vermeil was saying yesterday that it's going to be nice to have Spagnuolo back because of his size in there. He says he doesn't run great pass patterns, but he's easy for the quarterback to find. And the other thing is, after he catches that, he's a little tough to bring down.
He's 6'4" and 240. That was a 28-yard gain. That's from Yale.
I remember when guys that size used to play tackle. Remember that? Other tight ends.
At the Dallas 36, first down, Philadelphia. Cowboys lead it 3-0. Jaworski for Smith. That's complete. Everson Walls, the defender.
I'll tell you one thing, we'll see it again here. We'll see Smith come off the line. We'll see Walls. It's man-to-man. See, he's backpedaling. Watch him. Smith moves. Walls moves. And this has to be a great throw. If that's not a perfect throw, Walls gets in there and knocks it down. That's about as good a coverage as you can get. I don't care, rookie, 10-year veteran, anyone. That was great coverage.
There's Everson Walls. And no question about it, people have been looking to throw in that direction. Jaworski's going to work again. Going deep for Smith. And overthrown. Back with him, Dennis Thurman. And Charlie Waters coming over to help out.
You know, one thing about Everson Walls that is tough is that he's playing man-to-man all the time, Pat. You know, some teams play zone with rookies. There's a penalty out there, but he's always playing man-to-man.
Looks like the penalty is going to be against Dallas. Harvey Martin really upset at the moment.
Jaworski, he's up there. He wants to know what it is. He's clapping his hands. He said, we got it. It's against them. Dallas is standing there with the helmets in their hands.
Personal foul. Illegal head slap. Number 79 on the defense. First down.
Illegal head slap by Harvey Martin.
Look at Harvey. He's upset. Now, what that means was against the tackle. It wasn't against the quarterback, but he and Stan Walters are going at it, and he hit Stan Walters in the head.
First and 10, Philadelphia at the Dallas 12-yard line. Cowboys leading 3-0. Jaworski looking for Smith again. Walls with good coverage this time. Right back there with him.
Everson Walls must be something, you know, he must have a tough time sleeping at night knowing what he has to go through, because they put Carmichael on him, they put Charlie Smith on him. We see Jaworski here, and he says, I want to get to Everson Walls, but Everson Walls says, I'm not going to let you.
In a conversation with Tom Landry last night, I asked him if Everson Walls had lost any of his confidence, and he said no, he hasn't. Once he does that, he'll be looking for somebody else. Coverage like that will keep your confidence, though. That was excellent. Waters fakes a blitz. Knocked down by Walls, and the penalty marker goes down.
This will be an interesting one. What the rule is if the ball is in the air, you can't touch him. You can go for the ball. You can tackle him after he gets the ball, but you can't touch him before the ball gets there. That was very, very close.
Pass interference, number 24 on the defense. First down.
First and goal just outside the 2-yard line for the Eagles. Jaworski asking for quiet. Booker Russell and Wilbert Montgomery. What's coming, John?
And that's why they put Booker Russell in. You know, he can block or run.
Wilbert Montgomery puts the Eagles ahead with a 2.5-yard touchdown burst.
High formation play, number 32, Booker Russell comes in the short yardage for the lead block. He leads, but Montgomery didn't need a lot of blocking. When he got his shoulders square, he knew it was touchdown all the way.
Baker out in front, got a good block. Here he is rolling into the end zone.
And right there we saw number 32, Booker Russell was on Steve Wilson. He got a good block right at the goal line.
Shira will hold, and Tony Franklin will try to add the extra point. is good. And the Eagles take the lead. 5:22 left in the first half. It is Philadelphia 7, Dallas 3. Young Everson Walls over on the sideline. A tough call against him. That pass interference. No question about the fact that the Eagles are working in that direction. Franklin will kick off. As I mentioned before, he's really been popping up. This one off the side of his foot goes to Timmy Newsome, who swings from the 5. Newsome still goes. Whirl. Newsome still on his feet. Ball is loose. Angelo King came up with it after it popped out of Newsome's arms. There is Tom Landry over on the sideline. I asked him about Everson Walls, and here's what he had to say about Everson last night.
Don Shula last week at Miami, you know, he picks on whoever he thinks is the weakest or the inexperienced guy, and they went after him, and they beat him some. But he also intercepted 2 passes in you know, situations that kind of offset when they beat him. And as long as we can do that, you know, we're okay. Now, if we don't get the interceptions now, it might work against us.
Along with interceptions, maybe we should have added interference. Tom Landry, one of the most astute, intelligent minds in football.
And there was a penalty on that last play against the Eagles, and that's why the Cowboys are in this position.
Face mask violation, unintentional at the 41. Cowboy first down, and White will throw on first, and does. Drew Pearson backs out of bounds. Roy Nell Young was the nearest Eagle defender. The Eagles did it well, didn't they? 8 plays, 89 yards, 345. They kept the ball. Montgomery a 2-yard run to score. Big play was the pass from Jaworski to Spagnola. And then, of course, the pass interference against Everson Walls.
You know, this is such a rivalry game that these two teams have been working against each other for a year now, not just this week.
Second down, 4 at the 47. Dorsett whipped up by Ken Clark behind the line of scrimmage.
Tom Rafferty's having a little trouble with the nose tackle in there. That's the second time that the nose tackle has penetrated.
Oliver and Montgomery getting some instruction over on the sideline. Washington Redskins now rolling against St. Louis, 21-0, second quarter. Redskins seem to have gotten their act together in recent weeks. Third down, Dallas, and 4. 4.5 minutes left to play in the first half. It's Philadelphia 7, Dallas 3. White will throw if he has time. Dennis Harrison led the charge.
I'll tell you, Greg Brown was in there, the rookie free agent that was in construction last week, and we'll see him come right from Danny White's right side. You see, it's a stunt. He works to the outside. Now watch him right there in the picture. White saw him coming. That's when he brought the ball down. He was up there ready to throw. He saw Brown coming, brought the ball down, and then the rest of the group got to him.
Led by Claude Humphrey. And White will have to kick. That's the 4th sack by the Eagles on Danny White. Good kick. Wally Henry retreats all the way back to his 14. Cowboys down there quickly. Henry gets out of the pack. Wally Henry gets up to about the 27-yard line. Doug Cosbie got him down, but Henry turned nothing into something. The Eagles will have it. With 3 minutes and 51 seconds left to go in the first half, they lead 7-3. And, of course, the 3rd winningest coach in the history of pro football, Tom Landry. 27-15 against the Eagles, and in recent years this has been about as even as you can find it. Carmichael out wide to the right with Walls right in front of him. Jaworski long count. Smith in motion. Thurman chases him across the field. The givers to Montgomery, and Wilbert straight ahead for about 6 or 7. John Dutton tripped him up.
Hey, that was a good job of blocking by Ron Baker, and and Jerry Sizemore there on the right side. They got some movement. They started to the left, and then he just broke it right back to the right. And the Eagle offensive line really controlled the line of scrimmage on that play. I love that in these big games. You know, those guys in the pits, they're getting down there and getting after each other. Whoop.
Wally Henry stretching out that hamstring. Charlie Johnson being escorted into the Eagle dressing room as we have 3:13 left before the end of the first half. Fake. Jaworski with all kinds of time, throws down the middle. Intended for Charlie Smith, and a good job by Walls this time.
I'll tell you, he's a scrapper. He's all over that field. He's been on Charlie Smith. He's been on Harold Carmichael. This is probably the toughest thing you have to cover man-to-man. A running pattern all the way across the field. Now look, he stays up there. Now right at the end, get that arm in there. Okay, it was a little too late. One more step, and he could have knocked that ball down.
As it was, he jarred it loose. Third down, Philadelphia. At the moment, they have no running backs. I think it could assume pass. Jaworski looking outside to Campfield. Campfield stopped short of a first down by about a yard. Benny Barnes came up to make that clutch tackle.
Campfield shouldn't have done that, because once he got that ball, he should know where those sticks were, and he should have been able to turn and get underneath and get that ball up for a first down.
Looks like they need about a yard, and Vermeil sends Max Reniger, the punter, on the scene.
Fans were hoping they'd go for it. They were thinking, let's go for this.
In past years, in situations like this, I've seen him snap the ball to the master, who's the blocker, and usually it works.
Dallas has probably seen it though too.
They did it against Dallas. James Jones standing back deep. That's Lemaster up in front of Max Reniger. Lemaster signaling. Too much time. They were hoping that Dallas might jump offside. That will be the 2-minute warning. You look at Ron Jaworski over on the sideline. His Eagles, after that very impressive drive for their touchdown, lead Dallas with 2 minutes to go in the first half, 7-3. Pat Summerall with John Madden, the vet in Philadelphia. Dick Vermeil talking with his coaching staff over on the sideline. And when he speaks, they listen. Coming up at the half, Brent Musburger and Irv Cross back from our studio in New York. They'll tell us what's happened around the rest of the league today and what's still going on. They did not take too much time, by the way. I thought they did. They were just waiting for the clock to run down to that 2-minute warning and talk things over. Philadelphia 7, Dallas 3. The Eagles still taking a long time talking this one over. Some discussion appears to be going on between some of the officials.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly what that's about.
Well, what they do at the end of the half, they change captains at the 2-minute warning, so they go to both benches and get their new captains as to who can call timeout within those 2 minutes. Then the officials have to exchange them with each other.
That is Max Reniger standing back at his 20-yard line just outside the 20, and James Jones back deep for Dallas. End over end kick. Jones has to let it bounce. It does. And goes out of bounds at about the 25. Dallas with 2 timeouts left and 1:51 left in the first half. Next weekend on CBS Sports Saturday, you'll see the WBA Light Heavyweight Championship. Features 1976 Olympic champion Michael Spinks, who is undefeated as a pro. He defends for the first time against Vonzell Johnson next weekend on the CBS Sports Saturday, 4:30 Eastern, 3:30 Central and Pacific. 39-yard punt by Max Reniger. Stan Walters talking with Kenny Iman over on the sideline. Big Stan matched up against Harvey Martin today. Green Bay 31, Seattle 24. Fourth quarter. San Diego's gone ahead of Kansas City 13-7. Second quarter. And Mark Van Egan has scored for Oakland, and they lead New England 10-3. I know they're glad to have him back.
Illegally touching the ball. Player went out of bounds and was the first one to touch the ball when it came back in bounds. Go back with a 5-yard penalty.
Once you leave, you can't come back.
You can leave and come back, but you can't touch the ball. And what happened, it was the outside cover man for the Eagles, and he was knocked out of bounds, and he came back in. Now, he can make the tackle, but he can't touch the ball first. He came back, and the ball hit his leg. The ball hit him on the left side of the leg as he was coming back from out of bounds. You know, that's not a bad way to cover kicks. I've seen guys, and I've told my guys, you get out here on the sideline, and if you get bumped, just run right out of bounds. And you can cover a punt running all the way out of bounds and then come back in.
Big Harold Carmichael viewing things.
He never covered those punts.
No. So Roniger will have to punt again. Jones standing back at the 24-yard line. The Eagles taking a long time. Roniger holds it, waits. And James Jones whirls up to about the 38. And again, John, you were pointing. The cover man did go out of bounds.
He ran out of bounds, and he ran into Chuck Bednarik on the sideline, who pushed him back in again and said, go get it.
It is Philadelphia 7, Dallas 3. A minute 39 left to play in the first half. The ball at the 39-yard line of Dallas. They have it 1st and 10 and trailed 7-3.
And they have 2 timeouts, and with 2 timeouts and a minute 39, that's plenty of time for Dallas to move the ball.
Dupree and Hill come out to the left. Pearson to the right. Robert Newhouse and Dorsett, the runners, as White will operate on first down from the shotgun. Forward handoff to Newhouse. And Newhouse gets out to about the 45. Ken Clark and Al Chesley made the tackle.
They were down there. They tried to get into the passing formation again and run a running play.
Clock is running. Minute 15 by the time they get underway. Rafferty with a one-handed blind snap. White up in the pocket. To Drew Pearson. Clutch catch. To the Eagle 34. 1st and 10 Dallas. Frank LeMaster knocked him down as White stepped up in the pocket nicely, and now they call a timeout.
And you talk about concentration and looking the ball into your hand. Drew Pearson really did on that play because he had 4 defenders around him. The ball went right through and into him. Now watch, he comes off, he's bumped on the line of scrimmage. He's bumped by Jerry Robinson, the linebacker. The corner, Edwards comes up, linebacker again. There's Chesley, and finally LeMaster gets him down. That's catching a ball in a crowd.
Pearson got a little refreshment after that.
You know, one thing about these Cowboy receivers, they're all tough. You take Butch Johnson, he's a tough, exciting guy, and Drew Pearson and Tony Hill, they'll catch that deep one, they'll catch a short one, they'll catch inside and outside, and they just seem to have ice water in their veins.
Pearson's been doing it for years. Here's Saudi coming in now with Pearson and White after a visit to the sideline. Andy White, Butch Johnson. Next week, the NFL on CBS will feature the Giants at Green Bay, where we'll be. The Eagles at St. Louis, Tampa Bay at Minnesota. That's a big one. Chicago at Kansas City. Atlanta at San Francisco. Speaking of big ones. And New Orleans at Los Angeles. 1st and 10 at the Eagle 34 for Dallas. Philadelphia leading 7-3. Johnson, Pearson come to the left. Saldi is out on that side as well. Tony Hill to the right. Shotgun formation again. The Eagles put the pressure on this time, or try to. Hill has it knocked away by John Shira right at the last second.
Hey, we're talking about players that are back, and John Shira is back. He had an injured shoulder in the first game of the season, and he's the 5th defensive back. He comes in, he's all over the field. He made a great play on knocking that ball down.
Tony Franklin's glad to have him back because he's the holder for the Eagle place kicker. John Shira, who played for Dick Vermeil, was a quarterback at UCLA. He can do just about anything.
May see him run one of those plays from a fake field goal or something.
Indeed, he might. A minute and 1 second left to play in the first half. Dorsett and Springs, the 2 running backs, but White operates from the shotgun. For Hill, got it. Tony Hill, still on his feet, struggles down to the 4. Talk about tough, John.
I'll tell you one thing, he is. You know, these wide receivers for the Cowboys, they just go into that middle all the time on posts, on ends, and hooks. Look at that. Boom.
Timeout, Dallas. Hill got about 5 extra on his own that time.
He did. We'll see it again because right after he catches it, number 22, Bernard Wilson, is right there. See, he just gets his foot in the ground, and boom, and he gives Wilson a shot, knocked him back, and as you say, Hill was able to pick up 3 or 4 extra yards. Now, you know, being down here with 1st down and 4 is probably one of the toughest places to score from because it's tough to run it in from there with, you know, with only 41 seconds, and 4 yards, you only have 14 yards to work. You know, the 4 yards plus the 10-yard end zone. And this is where you usually go to work to a tight end, a big tight end like Dupree or Cosbie.
Particularly earlier in the year, John, Dallas had an awful lot of difficulty scoring once they got inside the 10-yard line. That's why Septien had so many field goals early.
You know, the other thing, talking about scoring in Dallas, every game that they've scored first in, they've won. Every game that they haven't scored first in, they've lost.
They scored first today on a 32-yard field goal by Septien. The Eagles roared right back and got a 2-yard touchdown run by Montgomery. The extra point by Franklin, and that's been it.
Right, I see Billy Joe Dupree now coming back from the sideline with Danny White, and I would anticipate that he'll try and get the ball to Dupree somehow in the end zone.
Cowboys do not have any more timeouts. They've used their last one. So it's 1st and goal from the 4. Tony Hill comes out to the left. Drew Pearson goes right. To Dorsett. Clark. Fumble. The Eagles get it back. Al Chesley comes up with it.
Look at these Eagle fans. What a big play for the Eagles. Again, now we'll watch Clark there. You see the nose tackle, number 71, Ken Clark. He got penetration. You can't allow penetration on the inside. Clark got by, and he knocked the ball out before it could really get started.
Al Chesley, who recovered the fumble, was a teammate of Tony Dorsett at Pittsburgh.
Al Chesley recovered the fumble, but the guy that made that play was Ken Clark on the penetration. He was the guy that knocked the ball out of Dorsett's hand.
Jaworski, let's see if he tries for more, or we'll just run out the clock. Hand off to his fullback, Hubert Oliver. Nothing doing there. Ed Jones on the bottom of the stack. The Eagles will just let it run out.
I'll tell you, that was a surprising play for the Cowboys because they didn't have any timeouts, and you were sure that they would have to get the ball, throw it into the end zone. And when they ran with it, was surprising that the defense of the Eagles did such a good job of playing the run.
That'll do it for the first half at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. And the Eagles go to the locker room, leading the Cowboys by the score of 7-3. Just about the kind of first half we expected.
The Eagles dodged a bullet.
They surely did. And so at the half, Eagles 7, Cowboys 3.